Very good evening, everyone. I was speaking on mute, sorry. And I was asking you, can you guys hear me?
Good evening, Arjun. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. Very good evening. Okay, just send a reminder to all your people that session has started, and it's going to be a very, very exciting session because the speaker is my favorite and topic is also my favorite. Yes. So let's just take 1 minute and just send a reminder to all your people to join this.
Arjun, I think you're on mute.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Nirmal. I hope. Okay. So what I was speaking is that let's all of us put our name in the chat and who has invited us here. For example, me, Joe has invited me in this session. So I have put Arjun here. Joe has invited me. So let's all do it. Your name and who has invited you for this session. And if you are an HWL client, you can put yes, I'm an HWL client. And if you are not, you can put no, I'm not an HWL client. For people who don't know, HWL means healthy weight loss. Very nice. Rakesh invited by Hashim. Ashok, Vinayak has invited him. Nirmal, Joe has invited him. Krishna, yes, Joe has invited. Preeti invited by Joe. So I see a lot of names. Shabir is there. Sirisha is there. I know Sirisha. Sirisha, if you can listen to us or listen to me, you can put Arjun has invited you. Ruchi, Arjun, Nirjara, Anil, Krishna, Sugandha, Neelam, Krishna. Yes, thank you, Sirisha. Sharda, Sugandha, Milton, Moksha. Now I can understand. Yes. Okay, it's 10:05 now. So let's start the session. Very good evening, all of you. And can you just unmute and say good evening to all of us? Let's unmute and say good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, all of
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, very good evening to all of you. It's very, very excited session has been planned. Okay, because one of the question that everybody asks, what is the purpose of these food supplements? Why do we need this? Is there any side effects? Lot of questions. Right now, I was talking to two of my clients and I was spending good amount of time in educating them on the food supplements. That really helps a lot. And because all of us, I believe all of us take some kind of a supplements by any means, it's always good to understand. But the person who is a speaker today is a very, very, very special person for this team, very special person. He will not come like just like that. To invite a person like him, all of us need to unmute and all of us need to clap. Only then he may come on and he may talk about his topic. So all of us, let's invite with unmuting ourselves.
Okay.
So Nirmal,
Welcome, Nirmal.
it's a privilege. It's a privilege to listen to you again and again, again and again. So the stage is all yours and over to you.
Thank you so much, Arjun. It really makes me very happy whenever I get a chance to speak because I get such wonderful introductions from you. I'm not sure if I'm deserving, but I really enjoy this introduction. And it's so nice to meet a group of people, even though it is 10 p.m. in the night, right? We have a set of people who are willing to learn, get together, understand more things, and it's so nice to see all of you. So, as usual, I have some conditions when I always start my presentation. I would request whoever is has their video off, if you can switch it on, it will be great, because I would really like to see the people that I'm talking to. Please feel free to express your happiness, anger, displeasure, or agreement, whatever it is, either in the chat box or using emoticons like a thumbs up or whatever it is. Or if you want to, you can even feel free to unmute and express. Okay? Yes, just like that. But in different expressions. Okay, so without further ado, let us start. Okay, and before I start, now this is where you will have to give me permission. See, one thing is very clear. I can only take this topic if I have the permission to scare you. Please tell me. I can only, sorry Arjun, I didn't inform this to you before. I can only continue with my topic if I can scare each and every person in this call for the next 10 minutes. You have to give me unmute and say yes, or put thumbs up, or chat somewhere and put yes.
yes, permission.
Yes.
Very careful, no?
Yes.
If somebody listens to the topic and says, I got so scared, why did he do this to me? I should give you a warning, right? So the topic that I'm going to cover today is basically about supplements, why we need them, and the safety and efficacy of such, these products. Now, obviously, it is not such a scary topic, but there are some things which probably might scare you. Please tell me if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So let's first, there's a lot of people, new people that I'm seeing in the session today. So I'm just going to take a little bit of time on the basics. Okay. Sorry, just 1 second. How do I share with audio? I have to share sound. Click on share sound also, no?
Click on
Yes,
share
yes.
sound also.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm hoping you can see my screen, right? So very clearly, whenever people, we get this a lot from our clients who are in the HW program before starting. In fact, I am one of the people who asked this question to Joe, right? Why supplements, right? Why can't we eat, like you talk about iron supplements, calcium supplements, vitamin C, vitamin B, vitamin D, vitamin A, all of these things. Why can't I just eat normal food? These are normal questions that are posed to us. I am sure you might have more questions than this. when we take the topic of supplements, or when you talk to someone about the topic of supplements, first thing, why can't we eat it as normal food, right? Is it safe to consume? You're talking about these tablet, capsule type things. Is it actually useful, right? Any other questions that you would have faced? Anyone can unmute and tell. Beyond this, any other, which is there in your mind?
Yeah, one question always come in my mind: can supplement replace the food? So,
Can supplement replace food? No, that is an
That's the
extent,
first question. No?
right? Very valid point. Obviously, it cannot, but it is related to this. Basically, is this: why can't I have food instead, or why should I have only supplements? Right? So this broadly covers it. Okay. So first, let's understand what are supplements. Now, what is the definition of something called as a nutritional supplement? Right? I'm going to just read it out. Food supplements are concentrated source of nutrients, which are vitamins or minerals or other substances with a nutritional or physiological effect on the human body. Okay. We have all learnt this in our schools, right? That vitamin C, if you agree with me, please give me a thumbs up or mention in your chat. Vitamin C, very important for the body. Vitamin D, very important for the body. Calcium, very important for the body. Iron, very important for the body. Agree with me? Yes, I can see a few thumbs coming, right? What happens, but do you know what happens if we don't, or we have a deficiency of these so-called vitamins and minerals?
Deficiency diseases.
Diseases, right? What are those diseases? Let's say you have vitamin A, deficiency of vitamin A, it can lead to poor vision, right? Your vitamin D will affect your bones. You see people as they grow older, they're asked to take vitamin D separately. Especially your parents or grandparents would be definitely told by the doctor. Calcium, again, affects you when you're slightly older, right? You've heard iron and anemia, the connection between iron, the deficiency of iron and anemia. If mostly sometimes seen in pregnant ladies, right? The doctor would be giving iron supplements, right? If you don't agree with me, where do you think I took this table from? What is the source of this table? Obviously, it is from Google, but from where? Can anyone guess?
I can see NCRT, probably our NCRT books.
Exactly, very keen. You must be very good at quiz competitions, Amsada. You're exactly right. That's the simple part. We learned this. This is a government prescribed textbook, which we learned. We all, NCRT has been done from lifelong. We all learned in our 6th standard. That time when the exam question was asked, we answered all of this. Vitamin C is important, vitamin D is important, all of that, but we forgot it down the line. Right? Fine. Okay, now we understood. This is important. One of the big questions, why can't I have normal food instead? Okay. Again, simple question to all of you. If I give you an apple right now from the supermarket, how many of you will bite directly into it?
Never.
Or would you rather peel the skin or put it in some water, all of that?
Yes.
Yes.
Will not buy apple actually.
Take any fruit or any vegetable. Okay, fine. If you don't buy apples, I'm offering you this good looking vegetables from the supermarket. In your household, just think about it. What is the first thing that you do when you buy vegetables? Do we put it into a bowl
Wash.
with some vegetable wash or turmeric or some vinegar, right?
we freeze them. Like normally when we buy the fruit and vegetables, we tend to freeze them so that we can store for a week and then consume them slowly.
Yeah, so we clean them not just for the purpose of storage. We clean them because we know it is a trap. What is that trap?
Pesticides.
The great Indian vegetable scam. Okay. I'll spend some time. Do you hear the word?
उनको जो बासी सब्जी बच जाती है उसमें हम लगाते हैं, स्प्रे करते हैं और फिर वो ताज़ी सब्जी में मिला के जाती है, इसलिए हम सब्जियों पे, बासी सब्जियों पे लगाते हैं, वो ताज़ी जैसी लग जाती है और फिर वो मंडी में ले जाते हैं तो वो आसानी से बिक जाती है। ये हम ही नहीं करते, सारा ही जमींदार।
Please note this line. You might be seeing a Hindi farmer or somebody in North India talking about this. Everyone who is in this business does it. It doesn't matter. You might be in Kerala, you might be in Kashmir, you might be in Assam or Gujarat, wherever it is. You might even be in Dubai, USA, wherever, any country in the world. If you are part or consuming food produced by commercial farming, there is some form of pesticide or insecticide, or in such worse cases, even poison added to it.
करता जो सब्जी को बोता है, खेत से सब्जी तोड़ के और फिर वो जमा के और सुबह मंडी में।
I think you got it.
तोरी हुई जी, भिंडी हुई, परमल हुई, बीन्स हुई, इसमें हरा रंग मिला देते हैं और वो ताज़ी सब्जी लगती है।
I would urge each one of you, please search this, The Great Indian Vegetable Scam. Part 1 of this horror series is this video. It is available on YouTube. Right? Fine, vegetables, it's a problem. I will still manage to clean it. We saw calcium, right? There's another scam. Right?
2022 में इंडिया ने 21,000 करोड़ लीटर का दूध प्रोड्यूस किया था, लेकिन अकॉर्डिंग टू FSSAI इसमें से 38% दूध यानी कि 8 करोड़ लीटर दूध नकली था। लेकिन इतना सारा नकली दूध आता कहां से? आइए जानते हैं। इंडिया में डेली 57 करोड़ लीटर दूध बेचा जाता है, लेकिन सारे जानवर मिलकर भी डेली का सिर्फ 10 से 12 करोड़ लीटर दूध ही प्रोड्यूस कर पाते हैं। मतलब इंडिया में 45 से 47 करोड़ लीटर का मिलावटी दूध हर रोज बनाया जाता है।
Carry or not? Vegetables, milk, which we hold so sacred, which we feel, why should I take calcium supplement? I can have milk, drink more milk, fresh milk. Is it actually fresh? The difference between 12 crore liters to 57 crore liters is what? I don't want to get in the full video where it tells what all they mix and all of that. Forget that. Right?
और 2022 में
Now, here's something which is just going to be the ultimate mind-blowing thing. Fine, forget all of this. There are some, supplements. I agree that it is less poisonous than what you actually get in your market. But also understand this. Are you consuming things which are organic or inorganic? Okay. Now, there are two parts of this. Remember earlier I asked 3 questions. 1, can I replace with normal food? Is it safe to consume? Is it useful for you? When you ask me, is it safe, right? There are many, many supplement brands in the market. Okay. Now, what is the difference? We don't know whether they're actually made with proper ingredients or not. Now, here's an example. This is not about a supplement. How many of you here have had cornflakes or any type of breakfast cereal? Or you have given it to your kids? Show me some emoticons, messages, something. Yes? No, just extracting iron, physical iron from your breakfast cereal. What's coming on? What you see coming out is traces of actually fine iron powder. Okay. What our body needs is not iron powder. Do you think we can consume? Our body will be able to digest this iron powder? No. Right? The iron that we need to avoid anemia, the iron that we need for our daily sustenance is not the actual physical ground iron powder. And if you feel this is something somewhere in the world, trust me, when you search about this on YouTube, you'll get examples even in India. Right? It's about basically, see, it's not like it harms you, it passes through your body and goes out. But the point is, when a company on their cereal box says 42% iron, right? It is actually mixing a little bit of ground iron into it. The same way you will have brands in the market, they may be creating iron supplements, but if they are artificially created in a lab, right, they can very well mix some iron powder into it. If as long as you're not aware of the composition, or if you don't trust the brand, please stay away from it. So, very big question that you need to ask, right? One, you need to be sure why you need supplements. That I think I've proven in the previous videos, right? Second, you need to be sure that the supplements that you're consuming are extremely safe and of very high quality, which means what you should look at is what the ingredients are, who is making it, how it's made, rather than what is the cost. So in summary, this is basically the gist of it. In today's lifestyle, now think about it. If you have to have the most organic of vegetables, the most organic of cow's milk and other things, everything on your plate, is it possible? Just realistically question yourself what you eat daily. What did you have for dinner? Right? Did it have a good mix of vitamins, minerals, or vegetables or fruits which had those vitamins and minerals? If it had, yes, great. But were they safe enough to consume? Will your body get enough of those inputs? So in today's lifestyle, supplements are essential. There is no question about this. You need supplements. Why? Because you need to cover the nutritional deficiency in your body. Right? Please, hence, in today's lifestyle, we need this as an essential part of our daily diet. Okay? But just make sure that they are manufactured with high standards using organic ingredients from real fruits and vegetables. You can make this in a lab, right, with synthetic ingredients. Avoid that. This is basically it from my side. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you.
A couple of questions, Nirmal. I think one Anil has just asked. I think you've answered it. How are supplements safe? I think that is what you answered last, no?
Yeah, so I think that's the question, no? How can supplements be safe? So the Anil, very good question. So the thing is, supplements, like I said in my very last line, it can be made synthetically. It also can be made from real extracts of fruits and vegetables. Now the point is, there are many brands. You will have to get into some research about it, right? How do you go buy a car or a TV? Do you just go and buy one? You know, the first thing that you see, you don't. You do some research. You search online, right? You find more information. Now, if you ask me personally, the reason why I recommend Nutrilite is because I have gone through that research. Right? The process of manufacturing, it is completely untouched by a human hand, completely organic, 100% pesticide free in their very own farm. So basically, imagine even this, if I have even the best of intentions and I want to make a vitamin C supplement and I procure an orange from a commercial orange farmer, what are the chances that there will be pesticide in that orange? There is a risk, right? Instead, if I have my own orange farm, which I know is organic, right? And I create a supplement from that, what are the likelihood that it will be better? That's the only comparison that I have with Nutrilite, because Nutrilite has their own farms, right? Completely organic and completely automated process in terms of manufacturing.
One more question, Nirmal. How do I know how much supplement my body needs by revision?
Good question, Ravi. So if you see, there is something called as RDA. Okay, recommended daily allowance. of supplements. So if you look at any supplement bottle or look at the back side, the ingredients will mention, let's say it has iron, 10 mg or some unit of iron, and there will be a percentage of RDA, right? So usually the unit of consumption mentioned on the bottle will not exceed the RDA of a particular ingredient. I hope that made sense.
Yes. And one more question was asked before by Praveen. Can everyone afford the supplements in India?
Good question. If you ask everyone can afford, yes, they can. Can they afford the good supplements? Depends on person to person. Now, it also depends, I would say more than affordability, it is about priority, right? If, how do we put this? I'm trying to find a correct example for this. If I've seen the videos, if you go through those videos which I showed in my slides completely, trust me, you will put aside more than your luxury expenses. You might put aside money to get the proper supplements. It is scary, the world right now, and we all know this. We just don't know the effects because it is not instant. We can eat poisonous food for 10 years, 20 years, and later on symptoms might develop, right? But it is all about priority and how much value you give to your own health. Apart from that, yes, there are multiple brands and one can do a research and see what can fit into their budget.
Can one supplement nullify the effect of another supplement?
See, there are very few cases where they work with each other. I mean, there are the same, but usually supplements coexist. It is not a big problem. Okay. Unless, like, there was one
Vitamin
example.
C and iron is a good combination. Vitamin C and iron.
Right. Same for even if you say calcium and vitamin D, magnesium, Cal-Mag-D, right? Calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D work together. So there are in most cases they work together well, and yeah.
Yeah. So Leena, you're right. We are told not to take calcium and iron together. There's no problem in taking it, but the absorption is not very high. Then nothing happens if you take it together, but they compete. So the absorption of both will not be very high. That's fine. Just like I told you, vitamin C and iron, they are good to be taken together. Iron and calcium, no problem in taking together, but the absorption will be a little low. So better to take it at 2 different times.
Yeah, that is why we put it at 2 different times. And if you see the dosage also, it will be only 1 unit a day for both iron as well as calcium. Great. Any other questions? Were you all scared? Have I managed to take away your sleep? Okay. Yeah, over to you, Arjun. Thank you.
Outstanding, Nirmal. Outstanding. So last questions are coming because it's a very, very good topic. Question still, is it okay to consume vitamins on daily basis? Yes, I consume because I understand the body requirements. I understand the gaps as well. So
I'll answer that question. Is it okay to consume fruits every day if it's organic? It's good for the body, right? I mean, anything that is good for the body, you can take it every single meal, not only on a daily basis, every single meal. Kids also have supplements. Supplements are the safest. From 2-year-old, I give Jessica a good amount of supplements, right? So kids also have. It is much safer. There was one more question asked by someone regarding something similar. Is it okay to?
While that comes, I'll just tell one comment, which I got this realization when I was speaking to a friend in the US. Okay, supplementation is also a lifestyle. Now, for us in India, we look at it like a medicine. But if you talk to any of your relatives from US or any other foreign countries, Europe or wherever it is, you would see that by default, they would be having a few supplements on their own, either in form of supplements or like gummies, or there'll be some form of consumption. Why? Because the lifestyle is such that the awareness is there in those countries that we need additional input to maintain our nutritional health. Right? So if you ask, so all of these questions mostly are because we are still getting used to this concept. But is it necessary? 100% necessary, yes, in the current day.
Yeah, someone had asked about what will happen if we stop it. Just like anything good that you stop, usually nothing will happen. But when you stop something bad, yes, you get addicted to it. For example, someone eats an apple every day, they stop eating an apple, nothing will happen. Right? They will not miss the apple. But if someone is drinking every day, they stop drinking, they will have withdrawal symptoms. So supplements, if you stop, nothing will happen from that kind of an addiction wise, but obviously your body will not get that nutrition. One more last question. Have you observed any side effects of taking supplements more than required? Depends on the supplement, Rupesh. If it's a fat soluble supplement, vitamin A, for example, if you take it in very huge quantities, it can be toxic. Vitamin A is a very good example of such a vitamin. So if you see, we don't recommend vitamin A, etc. in our plan. But the B complex, the water soluble one, B, C, nothing to worry. Right? Maximum, if you take too much, you will just urinate it out. That's it. Even vitamin D, even though it's a fat soluble one, your body has enough fat to store it and give it out in smaller quantities. Okay. Thank you. Over to you, Arjun.
Wow. So just because of time, we are going fast. Otherwise, it was very, very nice session and discussion is very healthy. Just because we have a time crunch, we are cutting down the discussion. Otherwise, it's very, very good to talk about all this. Okay, so moving on. How many of you or how many in your family has got the hair fall issues? Every second person you talk to. Can I see some raise of hands, or can I hear some yes? If you have hair fall issues. For some people, it's not applicable. Okay, so guys, then next topic is going to be very, very important. Pay attention and understand that. So with a big round of applause, I would like to invite the next speaker to please talk about the evergreen issue that this human existence is facing, hair fall issue. Please help us.
Thank you, Arjun. Hi, everyone. As Arjun said, it's a very common issue, and irrespective of the gender, it's an issue for everyone. Like before and all, we used to hear from ladies only, hair fall, I lost my hair, thickness has gone and all. But nowadays, it's like guys are more worried. So it's for everyone. Again, I'm Sharada. I'm from Trivandrum. I'm an entrepreneur. And very happy to be part of this community. So today I'm going to talk about some remedies that we can do by ourselves, or home remedies which could help us control or prevent the hair loss, and as well as support regrowth of hair. Let me share my screen. 1 second. I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So like losing a small number of hairs, like okay, 50 to 100 hairs a day, it's very common or very normal. Everyone loses because we have around 1 lakh hair on our head. It's a very usual joke, counting the hair on your head. So we don't count, but it's around 1 lakh, and out of that, some 50 or 100 we lose every day. That's fine. We don't notice it. But once we start losing more and more number of hairs, it becomes a problem. And usually we used to say, everywhere it's hair in our home. When we sweep and all, we find a lot of hair, like with the color, with the texture, with the kind of hair. We used to say, this is your hair, this is like somebody else's hair, like that we used to say. But once you start losing hair, we realize it's like we feel really sad. We had a lot of hair, now we are losing it. How will we identify if it is a no issue or it's very normal? The easiest way or the first thing that we notice is might be like the partitions. No, we take partitions in our hair. So if it widens, that is a clear sign that we are losing more hair than normal. And also we used to see like our hairline goes up. Such issues we find a lot. Among ladies, it's like we used to lose hair. The thinning happens all around the scalp. It's everywhere. Thinning happens. But among men, it's like their hairline goes up or their an M forms at the crown part. That's very common. So that shows it's an issue and we need to address it. So how can we address it, or what all things we can do? Two things we need to avoid. One is the water we use to shower, no? That we have to be extremely careful. Many a times the quality of water that we get is not good. Might contain fluorides. Actually, fluorides is good. Fluorides are good for our teeth and all, but it is not good for hair. So what we can do for that is we can use some shower head which filters out the fluoride. Such shower heads are available, so we can use that if that is an issue in our part, in our area. The water we get has a lot of fluorides. That is an option we can go for. Another very, very important thing that every one of us has to take care is the shampoo we use. Nowadays, we use a lot of chemicals, no? Is there anyone here who is not using a shampoo? No chance, right? Hey, great. There's one person. Okay, so what are you using instead?
Yeah, I'm using shikakai powder.
Great. So natural options. So like olden days, we used to have that natural things, no? Hibiscus leaves or such things. I mean, in our doorstep itself, it will be available and we will be using such things. But nowadays, most of us go for shampoos. But when we choose our shampoo, make sure it is sulfate free. Because most of the shampoos, most of the chemicals are very harsh on our hair, on our scalp. So when you're using sulfate shampoos, what happens is sulfate can damage protein. It can destroy. So we all know 91% of hair is made up of protein. So if sulfate is destroying protein, then what will happen to our hair? It's very obvious, right? So go for mild sulfate-free shampoos. How much ever possible, use little minimum quantity or minimum amount of chemical on our skin or scalp or whatever hair, anything. Minimum chemicals will help you. So these are the two things we need to avoid: fluorides in the water and sulfates in our shampoo. Now, if you have a hair loss issue and if you're going for a medication, what does most of the medicines, hair loss medications do? They actually inhibit an enzyme, that is 5-alpha reductase. That enzyme is inhibited by most of the hair loss medications. It's because this one particular enzyme, what it does is, it will convert testosterone into DHT, dihydrotestosterone. This DHT is very powerful. It is 5 times potent when compared to testosterone. Testosterone actually controls the hair growth. That cycle is being controlled by androgens. So what happens is when you have more DHT, testosterone, that will burn out the hair follicles. So if DHT is more, it can result in androgenic alopecia. This is a very common thing. Like if you consider the people who are having hair fall issue, hair loss issue, more than 50% would be facing this issue. And in that case, it is caused mostly by this DHT. So if you can inhibit this particular enzyme, the conversion of testosterone to DHT would be limited, or we can control it. So that is what the medications does. But just like any other medication, the problem is it will have side effects. It has side effects, mostly on the sex and all. It has got some side effects. So instead of using medications, if we have natural home remedies, it's the best thing, right? So we have some natural remedies. One is onion juice. We can use onion juice in a diluted form, that is like 50-50. 50, half of onion juice and half part of water. If we mix together and apply on our scalp, it is a very good option for inhibiting 5-alpha reductase enzyme. Another option is green tea, again diluted, that is again 50-50. Diluted green tea also can be applied on our scalp. In both cases, like we have to apply, rub it on our scalp, wait for around 15-20 minutes, and then we can wash it off. Similarly, rosemary oil is another option that again, like just like this, you can apply for 15-20 minutes and then wash off. Or people, if you're comfortable with, you can apply it overnight and then in the morning you can wash it off. You're comfortable with that, because some people may not be comfortable with having oil overnight. If that is okay, then rosemary oil can be applied and wash it on the next morning. So those are certain home remedies that helps to inhibit this particular enzyme. There is one more inhibitor of this enzyme, and it is zinc. This zinc, the human body cannot produce or store zinc. So we need to include zinc in our diet. Many of us might be deficient in zinc, and that can cause hair fall issues. So what we need to do is we need to include food which is rich in zinc. The like high quantity of zinc is there in red meat and shellfish. So especially oysters have a lot of good quantity of good amount of zinc in it. We have other options also. It is just these are the two things which has the most amount of zinc, but other options are also there, just like seafood, egg, almonds, nuts, and all these have zinc in it. So if you are a vegetarian, you can go for vegetarian options, but if you are a non-vegetarian, these are the best options for you. So zinc is also good. It's also very important. Then coming to apple cider vinegar, again the star. So apple cider vinegar, it's also good. You can rub diluted apple cider vinegar. Again, diluted, it is very important because otherwise it will burn your scalp. So diluted, it should be like 1/3 cup of apple cider vinegar can be mixed with 1 liter of water and rub on your scalp. It actually helps to open the pores or clean up the pores, which might be filled with sebum. We know sebum is an oil, no? That these pores might be filled with the sebum, and what happens is it could prevent the follicles from growing the hair properly. So using ACV, we can clean, diluted ACV, we can open these pores and it will give a nice shine to your hair. And also it helps to re-establish the pH level, because this apple cider vinegar is acidic. Our scalp is also acidic. So once you are using this pH level can be re-established, because again, when we are using so much of chemicals to clean our head, clean our scalp, what happens is it actually damages the microbes in the scalp. So using ACV is good in that way also. Another very, very important thing, many of us used to hear, like when you go for a diet, we are on a diet, many a times hair fall is a major issue that many of us face. The main reason is we are not having enough protein. Protein intake is less. That is the main reason for hair fall when we are on a diet, especially when we are on a diet. So if the protein intake is less, then definitely we will face hair fall issues. So we have to make sure we take enough protein. Another thing is trace minerals. Trace minerals are those which we need only in very small quantities, small amounts only we need, but it is very essential. So if we are not able to include trace minerals in our diet, it's less in our intake, again, hair fall will be a result of it. So what we can do is, why is this trace minerals important? Because it is very important in building up hair protein. Trace minerals like iron, manganese, copper, zinc we already discussed. So such trace minerals, we get it from sea kelp, sea salt, shellfish and all. So it is very important to include them in our diet, or we can have supplements, just like how Nirmal has discussed already. These supplements help us to include all these minerals in our intake, you know, because otherwise we will face hair fall issues. It's very sure. Again, we need to include vitamin B. Deficiency of vitamin B can also result in hair fall. These are some of the common reasons for hair fall when we are on a diet. Then cruciferous vegetables. Actually, excess estrogen, when the estrogen level is very high, that can result in hair loss. That is why we used to see, like, for women, when they are on their menstrual cycle, hair loss is commonly seen. This is because of the excess estrogen. This cruciferous vegetables help us to control or regulate the estrogen. So that is why we have to have cruciferous vegetables, so that the estrogen level is regulated. Also, we have to take sea kelp. Sea kelp we already mentioned for having trace minerals. The sea kelp gives you iodine, which regulates estrogen. So having cruciferous vegetables and sea kelp will help you regulate the estrogen level. Next one, selenium. Again, selenium was also mentioned in the trace minerals. Selenium, it's actually connected with hypothyroidism. Many of, like, when we try to reduce our weight, a major problem many people have is thyroid issues. Thyroidism is a problem, hypothyroidism. So hypothyroidism, in people who are having hypothyroidism commonly experience hair fall issues. Selenium is a key trace mineral that supports thyroid. It helps to convert the T4 to T3, active thyroid. So T3 conversion, it helps. So selenium is very important for fixing thyroid issues. Best source of selenium is Brazil nuts. It is also there in seafood, sea kelp. Sea kelp is a star, no? We are mentioning sea kelp in every slide. So such things are good sources of selenium. So including selenium in our diet also helps us a lot to fix hypothyroidism and prevent hair fall. Hypothyroidism may be caused by other reasons also, like high estrogen, liver damage or gut damage can also result in hypothyroidism. In that case, like high estrogen, we have already mentioned, no? Too much estrogen will inhibit the thyroid function. That is why we have hypothyroidism in such case. Excess estrogen case we already mentioned. Then liver damage also, what happens, it prevents T4, T3 conversion. So that is another issue. Then everything, in most cases, the problem is what we are having. Our food, that is the major issue. We are taking all unwanted things like wrong food, or gut problems may be caused by antibiotics and such medications also. So such things can result in hypothyroidism and all these related issues. So first we need to fix our food, fix our diet. That is the most important thing. So if you want to fix thyroid issues and eventually fix your hair fall issues and all, first thing, avoid wrong food. Mainly this gluten from the grains is the major villain that causes thyroid issues. So we have to regulate our diet and fix that problem first. Then coming to the next one, stress. Many times we might face like an emotional event, of course, or some stressful situation happens in our life, and immediately we see a loss of hair, like hair fall increases. This is because of the stress. Because when we are stressed, the cortisol level increases. And this cortisol is very much damaging to our protein. So eventually hair loss, right? So stress is a major issue that many of us are facing. So if your hair fall is some way connected to stress, we need to address that first. So this is the reason why, like, ladies, when they are in their menopausal stage, no, that period they might face a little bit more of hair fall. This is because of the high level of cortisol. So in order to reduce the stress, what we can do is, one is vitamin D. Either we can take vitamin D or expose ourselves to sun. So exposing ourselves to sun will help you get vitamin D. But again, nowadays, we are not able to absorb that much vitamin D from the sunlight because of many reasons. So make sure we are not deficient in vitamin D. If you are deficient in vitamin D, take vitamin D supplementation. Then another thing is walking. Daily walking helps a lot to reduce stress. It's very, very, very important. So walking and other exercises helps in reducing stress. Main thing, more than exercise, it is the sleep. At least 7 hours of sleep is very important for any adult. So sleep well, daily exercise, and take vitamin D. This helps to reduce your stress, and that helps in reducing the hair fall. Again, vitamin D, we already talked about it. Vitamin D3 actually acts as a natural cortisol, and it doesn't have the negative effects of cortisol. So that helps to fix our problem. Then, again, proper diet. This is the main thing. No? So, ladies who are having PCOS issues, they face hair fall. Hair loss issues are very common. It is due to the spike of androgens that is coming from the insulin. So, in such ladies having PCOS, androgen would be high, and this is from the insulin. So, what we need to do is lower the insulin. How can we lower the insulin? By proper dietary changes. Proper diet helps us to reduce the insulin, and this will help reduce the androgen, and that will help in reducing the hair fall. So most of us know how we have to take care of our food, diet and all. So that kind of a diet helps us to reduce androgen and hair fall. And coming to the last one, it's biotin. Biotin is a, usually when we talk about hair fall, mostly this is the term that we hear, biotin. It's a key B vitamin, which is like, it helps in manufacturing protein that gives the hair that structure, that particular structure. So biotin is very important. It helps to reduce hair fall. This biotin, actually we get it, or it is made by the bacteria, gut bacteria. So what happens is, if there is an issue, gut damage, if there is an issue with our gut bacteria, we don't have good gut bacteria, in that case, like if you have a stomach issue, immediately you might see a hair fall. That's because you lost your good bacteria in your gut. So gut bacteria helps in producing this biotin. So what we need to do is, we have to fix the issue regarding the gut bacteria, and for that we can take probiotics and prebiotics. That helps a lot. Also, you can take biotin supplements. That also helps if you are deficient in biotin, or if you have hair fall issues, that helps. Or include food that are having biotin in them. So these are some of the very easy, very like home remedies that we can do from our side without medication to fix our hair fall issues. So I hope this helps you. So thank you very much. Whether it's straight or wavy or curly, if it's healthy, it's beautiful. Thank you.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome, awesome.
Any questions, anyone? It's a very vast subject. Awesome. It's like people don't have questions. Okay, so as usual, I'll just couple of things. Please let us know any new topics that you want us to discuss. You guys can hear me, right? My internet connection says unstable. Yeah, okay. So any particular topics that you want to discuss, to let us know through your coaches. It can be on wellness, it can be on mindset, we call it wisdom, and or it can be about creating well, right? All three are important. Well, health is most important, no doubt about it, but making money is also important. And even to get wonderful results from life, to become successful, it is important to have the right mindset. So all these three together is what we want to discuss. And do pass on this message to everyone. The link remains the same. Please do tell people around you about this session so they can also join in and contribute, as well as listen to us and learn from us. Okay. And with that, we are done. Thank you, everyone. We'll catch up coming Tuesday.